Snow White. Once upon a time, in a big castle, there lived a sweet girl named Snow White. She had hair as black as night, skin as white as snow, and lips as red as a rose. Everyone who met her said, "She's so kind, so lovely." But Snow White's stepmother, the queen, was not kind. She was vain and mean. She only cared about being the most beautiful in the land. Every day, she stood in front of her magic mirror and asked, "Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" And the mirror always replied, "You are, my queen." The queen would smile and twirl and say, "Of course I am." But one morning, the mirror gave a new answer, "Snow White is the fairest of all." The queen's smile turned into a frown. "What? That girl? She's just a child." She stomped her feet and shouted, "This cannot be." She asked the mirror again the next day. And the next. And the next. But every time, the mirror said, "Snow White is the fairest of all." The queen was furious. "I must get rid of her." So she called her huntsman and said, "Take Snow White into the forest, and don't let her come back." The huntsman led Snow White into the woods, but he felt sorry for her. "You must run away," he whispered. "The queen is dangerous." Snow White was scared, but she ran and ran, until she found a tiny cottage in the trees. Inside, everything was small. Small chairs, small beds, small bowls. She cleaned the house and curled up to sleep. At sunset, 7 little dwarfs came home. They were named Dozy, Grouchy, Merry, Prof, Silly, Sniffy, and Blushfall. The dwarfs were surprised to find Snow White, but she smiled and offered to cook and clean. They liked her, so she stayed, making the cottage feel like home. Every night, they sang, danced, and ate soup. Far away, the queen asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" The mirror said, "Snow White is still the fairest." The queen screamed, "She's still alive? That huntsman lied." So the queen made a wicked plan. She mixed a magic potion, turned into an old peddler woman, and made a shiny, red poison apple. She walked to the cottage and knocked on the door. "Would you like a tasty apple, dear?" she said with a cackle. Snow White took one bite, and fell to the ground. The dwarfs came home and cried, "Oh no! Our friend! Wake up!" They laid her gently on a flower bed in the forest. Day after day, they stayed by her side. Then one day, a prince came riding by. He saw Snow White and said softly, "She is so lovely and kind." He gave her a gentle kiss, and Snow White opened her eyes. The dwarfs cheered, "She's awake! She's back!" Snow White smiled and hugged them all. The prince said, "Come with me to my kingdom. So Snow White and the prince rode off together. They had a big party with cake and balloons. And they lived happily ever after.